Hi everyone, my name is Terry. Welcome to Friday Fact Day, where I talk about my work in fitness, feminism, and philosophy. And today's fact is yoga props are not cheating. I really rely on using props in my class to make sure everybody feels included and has an opportunity to do all of the different things that I cover. I use several different types of props, not just straps and blocks, although that's what most facilities have. I'll use really whatever's at hand, including chairs and even the wall right next to it. So if you have to put your hand up for balance or stability, I really encourage that. But I've been asked quite a lot lately why I'm doing that. And isn't that cheating? Isn't that the same as saying you're not really doing the pose or you're not really doing the real yoga? I say no, that's not cheating at all, because the thing is, we're not here to be graded. And in any fitness format, it's that very problem that's a sticking point for a lot of people, that they don't want to participate or they don't feel welcome because they can't perform to a certain level. Now, granted, some classes are leveled. There will be beginner, intermediate, advanced classes, especially if you're in a large city, and especially if you're going to a large gym with a population that can fill those classes. But in a smaller community or something that's open level, there should be constantly options given. And I really believe in using these props. The way I look at it is that if this is what is going to remove a barrier for you to participate, then let's remove that barrier and have you participate. The other reason props are really valuable is because they help you actually learn. For some folks, if you don't ever get into the position or the pose, or you don't ever perform the exercise in any format correctly, you don't really get to learn it. A lot of us are what we used to call kinesthetic learners and learn by doing. So if you don't do it correctly at some point, you don't really learn how to get there on your own eventually. In cases like that, for people who learn best that way, these props are invaluable. They're the only way you're really going to get to some of those more advanced levels later on in your practice. There is a lot to be said for the neurological changes that happen when we exercise. You're not just working the muscles and the joints and the ligaments and tendons in your body, you're actually working your brain as well. There's always a brain component to what's going on. And forging that, what we call muscle memory, those neurological pathways that develop when you learn something new, and you have to make that mind-body connection, that's really important. So if the props are what get you there, if the props are what help you learn, then yes, absolutely. The other concern, of course, is where's this anti-props idea coming from? Some of it is certainly coming from the fact that most of us did our learning in school when we were kids. There's a lot of bad teaching methods out there, and I hear this all the time as people come in. They're like, I failed school, phys ed, every year. I shouldn't be in the gym. I'm not going to do well in yoga class. Problem is we're all constantly being told that sport and phys ed is setting us up for a life of physical activity and fitness knowledge. And it really, really doesn't. And it really irritates the hell out of me. So it's really important to remember that you're not here to be graded. None of this is going on your report card. You're not going to get sent to the principal's office if you don't do well or you can't participate. You're not going to flunk the year if you can't keep up with the other kids in the class. So using props in a class is not like cheating at all. It's not like you're writing a math test and you wrote some of the formulas on the inside of your arm and you're just kind of just carefully looking at them when the teacher's not looking and not proctoring you. The other thing to think of too is that for anybody with any level of disability or mobility issues from injuries, anything like that, these are, again, the things that will get you there. I, from very early in my childhood, before I was in school, had to wear glasses. If I had gone to school without my glasses, doing things like learning to read and do math, anything where that, it was reading based, pencil on paper based, ink on page based, I would have been pretty much out of the running. I would have failed right from the start because I wouldn't have been able to see well enough. So how is that any different if you have to wear glasses to learn to read than if you have to use a block or a strap to learn how to do a particular pose in a yoga class? It's really no different at all. And maybe you don't have a diagnosed disability or a specific injury. Maybe you just, do what I'm doing right now and sit in front of a computer a lot of the day and your hamstrings are tight like everybody's experiencing right now because we're all on Zoom all the time. Another thing, come here, I'll tell you a little secret. Come here. The people who say that props are cheating and maybe are making fun of you when you use them, that's a problem with them and their own ego. So take that for what it's worth. So don't take the idea that props are a cheat at all to heart. They're just a tool like anything else, like wearing glasses, like sharpening your pencil before math class. They are just there to help you get through and learn as you go. Everybody learns differently. Some of us need props, some don't. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm going to do another video in the future about some different props and how they work, so stay tuned for that in about maybe a month or so's time, depending on how fast I am with the filming and editing. And as I always say, lift heavy, fight the patriarchy, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.